Hello, year 9s, 10th, whoever is watching this, I suppose. Good morning, afternoon again. So we're moving on, we're still sticking with solving simultaneous equations, but we're going to look at solving simultaneous equations graphically today. So instead of having to solve equations algebraically and substitutes and all that sort of stuff, we're going to be drawing a graph today to find the solution to the simultaneous equations, okay? So here I've got my two simultaneous equations, 4x plus y equals 6 and 5x minus 4y equals 18. Not the easiest, most straightforward example I could have chosen, but there you go. If you can do this, you can do all of them. So we're not going to be substituting, we're not going to be adding, subtracting equations, we're just going to be drawing graphs. Now, if you think about it, 4x plus y is just the equation of a straight line, if you remember from when we were plotting the equations of straight lines. So all we have to do is plot these two lines on your axis, and whatever they cross, that's going to be the solution to the two simultaneous equations. So we need to plot the lines. But we're going to try to be as quick and as efficient as possible. We're not going to be writing a long table of values and finding points and all that stuff. We're going to be quick, we're going to be efficient. So all we're going to do is use 2 points for each line, because we just need 2 points to be able to draw a line. We don't need any more. So let's look at the first equation. You've got graph paper, or at least a square paper in your books, so you should be using that because it's going to be a lot neater, a lot nicer in your books. So first you're going to draw your x and your y axis, remember, x, y, and the point O for the origin, or the point 0, 0. I'm going to look at only the first equation now, okay? And what I am going to do is say, equation 1, what happens when x is 0? Well, you're going to choose that point, x is 0, because it's a very easy point to substitute. So when x is 0, 4x would be 0, right? Therefore, automatically y equals 6. So when x is 0, y is 6. When x is 0, y is 6. That's the first point of this line. Easy. Right. Then, I'm still only looking at the first equation, equation number 1. I need another point. So, another very easy point to substitute is when y is 0. So, if y is 0, that disappears, and all I've got left is 4x equals 6. I could write it down. 4x equals 6. And if 4x equals 6, x must be 6 divided by 4, which is 1.5. So we said that when y is 0, x is 1.5. There. So you get your ruler and you draw your first line. So that's the first line sorted. Now I am going to do exactly the same with the second equation. So I'm not looking at the first equation anymore, I'm looking at the second equation, and I'm going to substitute the same 2 points. I am going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, what happens when y is 0? Now, if y is 0, that term disappears because minus 4 times 0 is 0, and all I've got left is 5x equals 18. And we should be able to solve that easily. X equals 18 divided by 5, which is 3.6. So when y is 0, x, so when y is 0, x is 3.6. So somewhere there. That would be the first point of the second line. And now, still looking at the second line, now I'm going to substitute when x is 0. So if x is 0, that term disappears because 5 times 0 is 0, and what I've got left is minus 4y equals 18. If minus 4y equals 18, y has to be 18 divided by minus 4, and 18 divided by minus 4 is minus 4.5. So when x is 0, y is minus 4.5. Minus 4.5 would be, I don't know, somewhere there. You got a square paper, it's going to look a lot nicer in your books. Then you get your ruler and you join the best possible straight line that you can draw, and that point there where the two lines cross, that would be the solution to the simultaneous equations. If you've drawn this properly on square paper, you would see that the solution, that point there, that would be your x value and that would be your y value, and the solution is x equals 2 because that value there would be 2, y equals minus 2, so that value there would be minus 2, and these are the solutions to the simultaneous equations. As I said, this is not the nicest example because I've got these decimal solutions there and plotting them on your square paper can be a bit tricky. Do not worry, because in the exam, if they give you this kind of question, two things are going to happen too. Number one, either when you plot the lines, you're going to be able to plot them in exact points, so you're not going to have to worry about that. And at the most, the solution is going to be 0.5, so 3.5 or minus 1.5 or something like that. Or case number two, they will already give you the lines drawn and ask you to solve the simultaneous equations graphically, in which case all you have to do is be able to read the coordinates of the point where the lines cross, and that's a very easy 1 mark question that you may come across in the exam. So that is it. That is how to solve simultaneous equations graphically. It's pretty simple if you've got your head around how to plot the two lines. And remember, for that, all we did was substitute 2 points. What happens when x equals 0? Well, y is 6. And what happens if y is 0? Then x is 1.5. And plot those 2 points. Watch the video, pause it, start it again, do it at the same time as you watch it in your books to have as an example, and you'll be absolutely fine. Okay? Keep working hard. Some of you are doing great. Take care, and I'll see you for next time. Bye.